So basic things you need for the cooler flush is obviously the cans of cooler flush, a new filter, and you need to make a rubber line that will actually slide over the metal cooler lines and the cooler flush will go into. Like this will actually pop into the end of it. This is a 5/8 hose, this is a 3/8 trans cooler hose. So they'll actually just slide together. You're gonna need a straight screwdriver. You're gonna need this lucky little bolt. It's an 8mm body bolt, but the thread pitch is 6x10. You're gonna need this for inside that filter housing to make sure you can block off the port so you actually flush the whole system. A simple straight screwdriver, a 22mm socket, and an impact. All right, step 2, you wanna come up here to this housing. This is where the impact and the 22 is gonna come in. You wanna bust it loose. Once you bust it loose, use your hands to unwind it. Don't use the impact. You're just gonna cover yourself. Move it side to side, get that filter off of in there. Take that filter, dump it all the way out. You'll clean that in a minute. Then you're gonna wanna get, see this hole? That 8mm bolt. You wanna take that, shove it in the hole, and just give it kind of a turn. It'll stay there. Take this lid and put it back on. Don't use the impact to tighten it up, just put it on. That's it. So first thing I normally do is take that little rubber hose that you made, the long line, the one that goes to the very back of the transmission, slide it over and tighten that guy up. You want to put as much pressure into that line as possible, so you want to make sure that it's actually tight. Be a smart guy, get you another hose and slide it over this one. Then you'll be able to push it out into the bucket instead of all over yourself. Alright, so we just put that bolt in the front in that actual toilet paper housing. Now you want to come back here and you actually want to start flushing. You want to put your can on, get everything all tightened up. Like I said, pressure is what you need. That's what's going to push the trans fluid out of everything. It still has a stock cooler in it, the original cooler. I never pulled it out yet. But that bolt in there will actually bypass the filter and the radiator. It actually cleans out the bottom of the radiator. That's what we're doing right now. When you flush, there's no such thing as too much flush. There's always such thing as something that's too little flush. You can see it coming out. Nice black. You want to keep flushing until that actually comes completely clear. If it's not clear, it's not clean enough. Like I said, the goal is clear. If it's a clear liquid going in, it needs to be a clear liquid coming back out. Okay, so it's pretty much clear going that direction. Now you need to flip the hoses. You gotta go back the other way. You gotta push everything back out through this line too. You don't only just want to flush but one direction. You need to flush both. The same step as back there, except you're just flipping the lines around. This one can be a pain sometimes because the elbow doesn't like to let that fitting slide up in there. Nope. See, that's where, if it's leaking out up there, it's not pushing enough pressure out the other side, so it has to be sealed off. There it goes. An 8mm socket makes this a little easier, but alright, let's try that. There you go. It's not leaking out there. Now it's completely clear. There's a little bit of red left. One more can. Basically what you're trying to do is get all the fine particle metal fragments out of it. The cleaner you get it, the better it'll be. That liquid's coming out pretty clear now. Then you want to take an air hose, pull your little can fixture out, stick it in the end of there, and you want to blow that out. You know the nice stuff? You want to get as much of that cooler flux out of there as possible because that's what has everything in it. And just like hooking it up to flush them out, you gotta flip the lines and blow back the other direction. You have to blow it both ways just the same way as you flush it both ways. Comes out the opposite direction. much of vinegar. So you'll see the liquid clear. Let's We just finished blowing out the lines back there. So now you want to actually come up here and that filter housing, you want to take that back off. Now be careful because it is going to be full. Now if you look in there, that's all out of the bottom of the radiator, so that's actually what pushed it out. So you want to dump all that out. You look, there's chunks in there. You want to clean that out. You need to get those chunks out of the bottom of that. So, pretty much want to take this bucket, brake clean, shop solve, anything. That's what's in this bucket is shop solve. It's just a solvent. You want to rinse this thing out, get it nice and clean. You want all those metal shavings out of the bottom of that container. Difference. Then you want to take your air hose, you want to get it all nice and clean. This. Go up here, take your 8mm bolt out, and then just blow it off. Now, you want to get your lucky little magnet off your toilet paper filter. I've already done clean mine just for video's sake. So you want to take your magnet and go to your new filter, push it in the hole, go over to it, go up here, push it in the hole. Take the rubber O-ring off the outside of the housing. Replace it with a new one. And then, these are known to corrode. They will stick when you try to wind them off, so your best friend is going to be cup grease. Get you some grease, go on the inside, so your seal sits right here. So you just want to take and grease that, just that thread, where the threads are, just down to that seal. This will make it easier to go on and easier to come back off when times change to fill that filter effect. So you just want to put it on there, push up and start turning it. Just push right on. Literally, once you got it hand tight, one ooga dooga. That's it. So now that we've put that back on and one ooga dooga, now the whole radiator is actually cleaned down. The last step for you would be to actually replace the cooler that's in the front. So you want to buy a factory poured cooler, and that's what we use here is all factory poured parts. And that's, you'll want to replace that cooler. It takes about 15 minutes. You have a little bit of doing in here, but really it's not a lot to take care of. After the cooler, you install the transmission, fill it full of fluid, have at it.